My name is Joe Biden. I love ice cream.
Forget everything that you think you know about presidential dining. Some of these meals might surprise you. From classic comfort foods to unexpected favorites, their dining habits offer a glimpse into the country's changing tastes. Let's explore the meals that have shaped presidential history and left a mark on American cuisine.
As I have been the constant companion and witness of your distresses, and not among the last.
George Washington. As the first U.S. president, George Washington enjoyed a breakfast staple known as hasty pudding, a simple cornmeal dish. Despite his grand White House feasts, he always started his day with this favorite, which became known as a George Washington breakfast. John Adams. John Adams, a proud New Englander, preferred a classic New England boiled dinner. This hearty dish, made with beef, pork, and chicken and plenty of vegetables, reflected his love for local produce and game from his Massachusetts home. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, known for his love of French cuisine, had a particular fondness for French vanilla ice cream. Made with eggs for a rich texture, this dessert quickly became one of his favorite treats, possibly influenced by his French-trained butler. James Madison. James Madison had a special fondness for Virginia smoked ham. This local delicacy, already popular in his home state, became even more celebrated thanks to his love for the dish, showcasing Virginia's culinary pride. James Monroe. James Monroe favored spoon bread, a dish that originated with cornmeal mush was baked instead of boiled. After discovering it at his home, Monroe made sure it remained a household favorite. John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams was a devoted gardener who took pride in the fruits he grew. His favorite foods were fresh plums, apples, and peaches, which he cultivated in his own garden, emphasizing his connection to natural, healthy eating. Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson favored tenderloin with Jezebel sauce, a unique blend of sweet and spicy flavors made from apples, pineapples, and pepper. This rare pairing showcased Jackson's love for bold, sophisticated dishes. Martin Van Buren. Martin Van Buren developed a love for boar's head during a trip to England. It became a regular feature at his Christmas parties, adding a grand and eccentric touch to his holiday celebrations. William Henry Harrison. William Henry Harrison enjoyed squirrel stew, a popular dish in the 1800s. He often served it at campaign rallies as a goodwill gesture towards voters, reflecting his down-to-earth nature. John Tyler. John Tyler's favorite dish was chess pie, a southern classic with a custard-like texture. This simple, flavorful dish helped him unwind during presidency. James K. Polk. James K. Polk had a strong preference for ham and cornbread, even turning down more elaborate meals during his travels. His straightforward taste reflected his appreciation for simple, hearty food. Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor loved callus shads, fried sweet rice dumplings, known for their high cholesterol content. These indulgent treats were a staple of his diet, reflecting his taste for rich foods. Millard Fillmore. Millard Fillmore enjoyed resurrection pie, an English-inspired dish. Originating from northern England, this hearty pie became a favorite at his table, showcasing his preference for simple yet flavorful meals. Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce had a fondness for Fanny Daddies, a British fried pastry. As a New Hampshire native, Pierce embraced his sweet, crispy treat, making it a regular part of his dining experience. James Buchanan. James Buchanan introduced sauerkraut to the White House. This tangy, fermented cabbage dish originated from Germany and appealed to Buchanan for his unique flavor and satisfying crunch. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's favorite food was corn cakes, a simple yet beloved dish. He was known for his love of these hearty cakes, often devouring them with enthusiasm. Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson adored Hoppin' John, a southern dish made from black-eyed peas, tomatoes, and peppers. This comforting meal, prepared by his chef, offered him a taste of home during his presidency. Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant had a deep love for rice pudding. He often requested it daily, believing his day wouldn't start right without this comforting dish at home. Rutherford B. Hayes. Rutherford B. Hayes had a simple yet unwavering love for corn in all forms. Whether it was corn on the cob, cornbread, or corn fritters, Hayes made sure corn was a constant presence in all of his meals. James A. Garfield. James A. Garfield shared a southern fondness for squirrel-based dishes. While William Henry Harrison enjoyed his squirrel stew, Garfield preferred his in a soup, reflecting the regional popularity of this dish at the time. Chester A. Arthur. Chester A. Arthur enjoyed turtle steak, a dish made from sea turtles, which were widely consumed in the 19th century. Though now rare, turtle steak has become a delicacy during Arthur's time. Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland preferred simple fare, often trading gourmet meals for his favorite dish, corned beef and cabbage. He once declared it the best meal he'd have in months, showing his appreciation for traditional flavors. Benjamin Harrison. Benjamin Harrison had a special love for fig pudding, a classic Christmas dessert. His White House chef noted that no holiday celebration was complete without this beloved dish. William McKinley. William McKinley favored red fennel hash, a vegetable-focused dish made with potatoes and beets. This simple, hearty meal was a comforting favorite for the president, despite its lack of traditional grandeur. Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt had a lifelong love for fried chicken. His mother's homemade fried chicken with white gravy was a childhood favorite, and Roosevelt's love for it continued well into his presidency. William Howard Taft. Known for his imposing stature, William Howard Taft fueled his size with a steady diet of 12-ounce steaks. This daily protein-heavy meal was a cornerstone of his robust appetite. Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson loved Virginia ham, especially fried and cut into strips. This savory dish was a favorite for the president, who appreciated its rich flavor and versatility. Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding was a fan of sauerkraut paired with knockwurst. He often introduced guests to this hearty German dish at his parties, making it a favorite in his White House. Calvin Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge had a sweet tooth, with jelly rolls filled with strawberry jam and topped with lemon icing being his dessert of choice after a long day. Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover's unique favorite was caramel tomatoes, a sweet, savory dish that was considered a delicacy during his time. His cook even crafted a special recipe just for him. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt loved grilled cheese sandwiches, making this simple, comforting dish a breakfast staple during his presidency. Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman preferred cornbread with sorghum, a Missouri favorite for his afternoon meals. This simple dish reflected his down-to-earth tastes. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower favored beef stew, slow-cooked with fresh vegetables. He often enjoyed tomato broth, making hearty meals a regular part of his diet. John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy's favorite was New England fish chowder, a creamy seafood soup with diced potatoes, which reminded him of his New England roots. Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson loved barbecue, particularly beef and pork. He even invited a Texas barbecue chef to the White House to ensure top-quality meals. Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon often chose cottage cheese for lunch. This simple, hearty dish was a consistent favorite during his time in office. Gerald R. Ford. Gerald R. Ford's favorite meal was pot roast with red cabbage, a hearty and comforting dish that remained a staple throughout his presidency. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter loved cheesy grits, a comfort food he frequently made for his family, reflecting his strong fondness for dairy. Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan had a famous love for jelly beans, particularly licorice flavor, which he used to quit smoking and indulged in his inaugurational celebrations. George H.W. Bush. George H.W. Bush preferred pork rinds with Tabasco sauce, often avoiding vegetables like broccoli and opting for his savory snack instead. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's favorite childhood dish was chicken enchiladas, which remained a staple in his diet for lean protein content. George W. Bush. George W. Bush enjoyed cheeseburger pizza, asking White House cooks to make it instead of ordering from fast food restaurants. Barack Obama. Barack Obama loved a good pot of chili and even had his own secret recipe dating back to his college days. Donald Trump. Donald Trump favored McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, preferring this classic fast food over more upscale culinary options. Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a big fan of ice cream, particularly vanilla chocolate chip, often indulging in treats from local shops like Jenny's. And there you have it. Who knew presidential dining could be this surprising? Which dish would you like to try? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more fascinating facts. See you on the next video.